Imagine waking up tomorrow not on Earth but floating 400 kilometers above it. No blue sky, no fresh breeze, just a thin shell of metal between you and a vacuum that could freeze you solid in seconds. For the next 365 days, you won't feel gravity tug at your feet. You won't walk in the rain. Every breath you take will come from a machine. Sounds terrifying? Well, if humanity truly wants to live in space even for a single year, we'll need a plan. A plan so thorough that one broken pipe or missing filter doesn't mean game over. Today, we're going to step inside this plan piece by piece and see what it would really take to make it through an entire year in space, alive. 1. The shell that keeps us alive. First, we need a home, and in space, a home isn't just a place to sleep, it's a fortress. Our habitat must be sealed airtight, able to maintain Earth-like pressure, and shielded from two invisible killers, radiation and micrometeoroids. Radiation shielding, out here, cosmic rays and solar storms don't care about sunscreen. We'd need walls lined with water tanks, special plastics, or metals like aluminum layered in Whipple shields. Temperature control, in sunlight, the metal walls could hit 120 degrees Celsius. In shadow, minus 150 degrees Celsius. Heat pumps and insulation keep us at a cozy 21 degrees Celsius inside. Impact protection, space junk travels at 28,000 kilometers per hour. Even a paint chip can punch through steel. So, we use multiple thin layers that spread out the force before it can do damage. This isn't just a room with a view, it's a life support bunker. 2. Breathing when there's no air. We can live weeks without food, days without water, but just minutes without oxygen. In space, we can't just open a window, oxygen has to be generated and recycled. Oxygen generators, similar to the ISS's oxygen generation assembly, which splits water into oxygen and hydrogen using electrolysis. Carbon dioxide scrubbers, machines that pull CO2 out of the air before it reaches toxic levels. Backup tanks, if the main system fails, we need stored reserves to last weeks. Every breath is monitored, every molecule accounted for, because waste here isn't garbage, it's tomorrow's survival. 3. The water loop. Water in space is precious and almost none of it can come from Earth, so we recycle everything. Closed-loop recycling, sweat, urine, even the moisture you exhale is collected, purified, and turned into drinking water. Hygiene adaptations, sponge baths replace long showers. Shampoo, it's no rinse. Emergency reserves, stored water in case the purification system breaks. On Earth, water is everywhere. In space, every drop is a victory. For eating in orbit. Food isn't just fuel, it's morale. But in space, fresh fruit doesn't grow on trees. Shelf-stable foods, freeze-dried meals, vacuum-packed snacks, and nutrient-rich powders. Space gardens, hydroponic setups growing lettuce, herbs, and maybe algae for protein. Nutrition monitoring, sensors track vitamins and minerals to avoid deficiencies. And yes, you learn to love eating with a spoon while everything floats. 5. Waste. The unpleasant truth. Waste disposal in space is complicated. Solid waste, sealed and stored until it's loaded into a cargo capsule that burns up in Earth's atmosphere. Liquid waste, sent to the recycler to become drinking water. Biohazard control, air filters and antimicrobial coatings to prevent bacterial growth. Nothing is really thrown away, it's either repurposed or reduced to ash. 6. Gravity, the missing force. Your muscles and bones evolved for gravity. Without it, they weaken quickly. Exercise regimen, 2+ hours a day of resistance machines, treadmills with harnesses, and stationary bikes. Artificial gravity experiments, spinning sections of the habitat to simulate pull. Bone density tracking, regular scans to measure health. Skipping a workout in space isn't laziness, it's a step toward never walking again. 7. Powering the outpost. Life support, lights, communications, it all runs on electricity. Solar arrays, our main power source, unfurling like metallic wings. Battery storage, for when we're in Earth's shadow. Backup generators, fuel cells for emergencies. Power outages in space aren't just inconvenient, they're deadly. 8. Staying healthy. A year in space means dealing with injuries and illnesses without a hospital nearby. And medical supplies, from antibiotics to defibrillators. Telemedicine links real-time consultations with Earth-based doctors. Emergency procedures, including minor surgery in zero gravity. Here, the crew becomes its own medical team. 9. Talking to Earth. Isolation can be dangerous. We need a constant lifeline. A high-speed data link for mission updates and video calls. Backup radios, in case of network failure. A delay adaptation. In deep space, signals can take minutes to arrive. Communication isn't just technical, it's psychological survival. 10. Mental strength. Living in a metal tube for a year tests more than your engineering, it tests your mind. Private quarters, even small personal spaces help prevent burnout. Entertainment, movies, music, books, and VR environments. Conflict resolution plans, structured ways to handle disagreements before they escalate. In space, keeping the peace isn't optional, it's mission critical. 11. Emergency protocols. When disaster strikes, there's no calling 911. Escape pods, small re-entry vehicles ready for quick evacuation. Repair kits, spare parts and tools for habitat maintenance. Radiation shelters, heavily shielded rooms for solar flare events. Preparation is the difference between a close call and a last call. Spending a year in space is more than a survival challenge, it's a preview of our future. If humanity wants to live on Mars, explore distant moons, or sail between the stars, we must learn how to build tiny, self-sustaining worlds. A year in space would teach us that nothing is wasted, that comfort is a luxury, and that survival depends on teamwork as much as technology. And maybe when we finally step onto another planet, we'll remember that this all started with a few brave people, a sealed habitat, and 365 days of living between the stars.